They whisper his name in the space between lightning and thunder, a sound that trembles in the air. Father, King, Cloud Gatherer, ruler of the storm. But how well do we truly know the power that once sat above the world and shaped the very order of existence? There was an age when the gods walked beside mortals, when they spoke without riddles, when fate, justice, and punishment were delivered from the sky with absolute certainty. And yet the greatest of them all, Zeus, has grown silent in our modern imagination. His presence has faded from the heavens he once commanded. His voice, once the roar of storms, has become a distant echo. Who was this architect of the cosmos? The supreme god who carved order from chaos and sealed the framework of reality with thunder and fire. What truths did he hide behind the blinding flash of his lightning? We tell stories of heroes, monsters, wars, and prophecies, but every tale begins with him. Every oath, every battle, every betrayal. His reign was born from violence. His throne was forged in primordial darkness, and his shadow still hangs over all myth that followed. Now the sky grows darker. The wind shifts, the storm gathers. Listen closely. The king is preparing to speak. To understand Zeus, we must leave behind the white columns of Athens and Olympia. We must travel past the Bronze Age, past the first Greek settlements, past even the first breath of written language. His story begins in a far older realm, in a time when humans still whispered to the sky in a tongue not yet called Greek. The name Zeus carries the echo of Dies Pater, the sky father of the Proto-Indo-European world. A being whose children became Jupiter in Rome and Diospeda in ancient India. He is one of humanity's oldest divine ideas. The shining one, the light that divides day from night, the radiance that makes the world visible. Yet this brilliance was born from darkness, from fear, from a prophecy that broke a family of gods. Zeus was the last child of Kronos and Rhea. Kronos, terrified by the prediction that one of his children would overthrow him, repeated the violence he once inflicted on his own father. One by one, he swallowed his newborns: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. Each infant disappeared into the void of his stomach, neither alive nor dead. The Titan ruled through terror, and every birth became a funeral. Rhea, driven to madness by grief, could no longer bear the cycle. When her final child was ready to be born, she fled to Crete. There, in the quiet shadows of a mountain cave, she delivered Zeus in secret. She handed Kronos a stone wrapped in cloth, a decoy he devoured without suspicion. The real child, the future king, was hidden among rocks, trees, and ancient spirits. Crete remains central to his myth. Archaeological finds in the Idaean and Dictaean caves confirm the island's ancient devotion to the god. Here, the infant Zeus was nurtured by the nymphs, sometimes Ida and Adrastea, who fed him the milk of the divine goat Amalthea. Her horns overflowed with nourishment. Her presence kept the baby alive. But Zeus cried, and a single cry would have doomed him. So the Curetes, fierce Cretan warriors, danced their battle dance around the cave. They clashed their shields together, they drowned out the wail of the hidden child. Metallic thunder filled the cavern, foreshadowing the storms he would one day command. This Cretan Zeus was not the bearded ruler carved in later marble. He was worshipped as Ho Megas Koros, the great youth. Long-haired, wild, fertile, a god of nature and renewal. A god tied to the earth long before he claimed the sky. His earliest identity reminds us that even the king of Olympus began in secrecy, dependent on the kindness of the land and the loyalty of spirits. When Zeus reached maturity, he rose from exile and prepared to confront the Titan who had devoured his family. With guidance from Meti, the Titaness of cunning wisdom, Zeus crafted a strategy. He gave Kronos a potion that forced him to disgorge his swallowed children. One by one, the gods emerged from the darkness, reborn into the world. The stone, still wrapped in swaddling cloth, was later placed at Delphi as the Omphalos, the navel of the world, a reminder of divine justice. Freed at last, his siblings stood beside him. But Zeus possessed something none of them did. A power waiting to be awakened. The Cyclopes, ancient smiths imprisoned in Tartarus, were liberated by Zeus in a daring act of rebellion. Grateful, they forged for him a weapon unlike anything the cosmos had ever known. A spear of pure sky, lightning held in the fist of a god. A thunderbolt that could split mountains and silence titans. With this weapon, the age of the Olympians began. The world trembled, the old order cracked, and the sky itself crowned its rightful king. Zeus had risen, the Shining One, the Storm-Bearer, the sovereign born in darkness, who claimed his throne with fire. The war for the cosmos did not begin with trumpets. It began with a tremor, a long, low shiver running through heaven and earth. This was the Titanomachy, a conflict that lasted 10 years and tore open the sky. Zeus, newly risen from the shadows of Crete, stood beside his siblings on the peak of Mount Olympus. Below them raged the Titans, ancient and colossal, fighting to keep their fading dominion. The air cracked with fire. The mountains groaned. The world shook as Zeus lifted the weapons forged for him by the Cyclopes, each lightning bolt a blade of daylight carved from the heart of the sky. Hesiod tells us the bolts flew so thick that the heavens glowed white, the earth boiled, the seas rose in steam. It was as if the sky and the soil were smashing together, the entire universe caught between them. The Hecatoncheires, Briareos, Cottus, and Gyges joined the battle, 100 hands, 50 heads. Their stones rained like meteors. With their help, the Olympians turned the tide. Kronos them into Tartarus, the deepest wound in the world, where the 100-handers became eternal guardians of the abyss. The old order died in darkness. The new order crowned itself in thunder. When the dust settled, Zeus and his brothers drew lots for the cosmos. Poseidon took the sea, Hades took the underworld, and Zeus claimed the sky. But destiny had already chosen him. His throne was not a prize. It was the natural consequence of power. He became the Sky King, father of gods and men, the one who sits at the center of the universe with lightning as both judgment and promise. Yet victory was only the beginning. Gaia, wounded by the imprisonment of her Titan children, raised up new terrors. First came the giants, towering beings born for destruction. Their war against the Olympians shook mountains loose from their roots. Thunder cracked, spears shattered, and the gods could not win without help from a mortal. Heracles, Zeus's own son, joined the fight. Together, God and man brought the giants down. Their victory carved a new truth into myth. Divine power is mighty, but destiny is shared between heaven and earth. Then came Typhoeus, a nightmare in flesh, a serpent-bodied monster with 100 flaming heads. His roar split clouds. His breath melted stone. In one terrible version, he tore the sinews from Zeus's arms and legs. The king of the gods lay helpless, a prisoner, a defeated sovereign, until Hermes and Pan, swift and daring, stole the sinews back and restored Zeus's strength. The final battle ended with Typhoeus buried beneath Mount Etna, where the fire still rumbles with his rage. But the wars outside were nothing compared to the storms inside Zeus's own house. He married Hera, the queenly goddess of marriage, yet their union was thunder without rain, strife without resolution. Hera raged against Zeus's endless affairs, and Zeus, driven by an unquenchable hunger, changed form again and again to pursue mortal women. A swan, a bull, a shower of gold. The world became a stage for his desire, and the consequences rippled through myth. From these unions came gods and heroes. Athena, born in armor from his mind. Apollo and Artemis, twins of light and hunt. Hermes, the trickster of the roads. Perseus, slayer of monsters. And Heracles, the mortal son he loved most, who carried both the weight of Zeus's blessing and the curse of Hera's fury. Zeus's power shaped humanity as much as it shaped heaven. When Prometheus stole fire for mortals, Zeus answered by creating Pandora and her jar, unleashing sickness, misfortune, and death into the world. It was cosmic justice, delivered with divine severity. The Sky King maintained order, but it was an order forged in fear, a rule as capricious as the storm clouds he commanded. Zeus was the king, but he was also the storm. Brilliant, violent, unpredictable, the god whose lightning lit the world and whose shadow stretched across every myth that followed. If Zeus is the king, what kingdom does he truly rule inside the human mind? His power is not only thunder or force, it is order, integration, the ability to take chaos and transform it into structure. In the ancient world, Zeus stood as the highest expression of thought, the principle that binds the loose fragments of experience into something stable and meaningful. He is the sovereign mind. One of his most profound myths reveals this inner truth. When Zeus learned that his first wife, Metis, would bear a son who might overthrow him, he swallowed her whole. At first glance, it seems brutal, but the deeper meaning is far more subtle. Zeus did not destroy wisdom. He absorbed her. He internalized the very intelligence that could have undone him. It is the moment raw power matures, the moment the psyche learns to guide strength with clarity. and from this union of force and insight, Athena emerged. She did not grow in the womb. She burst fully armed from Zeus's mind, strategy, knowledge, discipline, the living symbol of thought perfected. Zeus rules not only the heavens, but the ethical structure of civilization. His many epithets reveal his psychological domain. Zeus Xenios protects the stranger and the sacred bond of hospitality. Zeus Horkios guards oaths and the moral weight of promises. Zeus Polius safeguards the city itself, the fragile balance of laws and citizens. He is the superego before Freud ever named it. The internal judge, the voice that says, this is right and this is wrong. His daughters, Dike and Themis, are justice and cosmic order. Even the gods must bow to their authority. Yet here lies a deeper paradox. Zeus holds the jars of fate, one filled with blessings and one with misfortunes. He dispenses fortune to mortals at will, but even he is not free. The Moirae, the Fates, stand above him. They weave destiny beyond the reach of thunder. It is a reminder that even the highest consciousness in the mythic system must recognize limits. Power bows to structure, desire bows to destiny, the king bows to time. But Zeus is not only light, there is another side to him, a secret whispered identity that ancient cults preserved in the shadows. The chthonic Zeus, the Zeus of the earth, the serpent Zeus, the god who received black offerings poured into the soil. This Zeus Melikios or Zeus Chthonios was not the stormbringer, he was the deep force beneath the surface. Fertility, wealth, instinct, the raw ancient energy that feeds life and takes it back again. This chthonic form reveals something crucial about the human mind. Sovereignty is not just intellect or clarity, it is also instinct, hunger, the primal root of power. Real kingship, both in myth and psychology, must rule daylight and darkness. Consciousness and the underworld of the self. Zeus's notorious affairs, his shape-shifting desires, are not simply tales of lust. They symbolize the pull of instinct that shadows even the most ordered mind. The ruler of the sky is constantly challenged by the animal within. So Zeus becomes the mirror in which we see ourselves, the bright intelligence that creates civilization, the order that holds society together, the lightning that divides truth from illusion, but also the impulses that disrupt that order, the temptations that test character, the shadow at the bottom of every human decision. Zeus is the tension between reason and desire, between law and impulse, between the king and the serpent. He is the reminder that true sovereignty is not perfection, it is balance. The ability to stand in the storm of one's own mind and still hold the throne. Zeus is the mind striving for unity, aware always that chaos is never far behind. He is the king outside us, so that we may understand the king within. The thunder of Zeus never truly left the world. When the ancient temples fell quiet and the old hymns faded into dust, his presence did not disappear. It shifted. It hid itself inside the stones we still uncover, inside the languages we still speak, inside the moral codes we still obey. The Sky Father did not die. He simply changed form. Archaeology preserves him better than any myth. In Olympia, his greatest sanctuary still breathes with memory. For centuries, athletes gathered there, offering sweat and sacrifice in his name. And at the heart of that sacred ground once stood the colossal statue of Zeus, 12 meters tall, gold and ivory, Phidias' masterpiece, a wonder of the ancient world. Even the remnants of the altar speak quietly of his power, built from centuries of ash, each layer the residue of devotion. Northward in Dodona, the oldest oracle in Greece whispered his messages through the rustling of oak leaves. Priests listened not to words, but to wind. It was a time when the divine spoke through nature itself. His image became the blueprint of the supreme being, the muscular frame, the flowing beard, the serene but commanding gaze, the raised arm ready to cast the thunderbolt. This visual language survived the fall of Greece, passed through Rome as Jupiter, and echoed into the Western imagination. It shaped paintings of angels, statues of patriarchs. Even the popular vision of the Christian god bears the silhouette of Zeus. The Artemisian bronze still stands as proof, a body poised to unleash power with a single motion. His influence is also hidden in the words we speak. In the roots of Indo-European languages, Zeus is embedded like a spark. His ancient name branches into the Sanskrit deus, the Latin deus, the modern word divine. Every time we speak of heaven, justice, or a vow, we echo the old laws he safeguarded. Xenios, the protector of hospitality. Horkios, the guardian of oaths. These principles shaped Western ethics long before philosophers wrote their treatises. They still shape us now. Zeus traveled far beyond Greece. He merged with the Egyptian Ammon, crowned with ram's horns. He fused with the storm gods of the Near East, like Baal-Shaman. His identity evolved, but his authority persisted. In the writings of the Neoplatonists, he became the cosmic architect, the divine mind shaping the material universe. Even there, he remained the same core force, the order behind chaos, the will behind form. In modern culture, his presence softens but never vanishes. Films and games portray him as the booming father figure or the stern arbiter of fate. Yet beneath the animation and theatrics lies the old truth. He is still the king, still the archetype, still the voice that rumbles through the moral and mythic imagination of the West. Zeus is not gone. He is scattered across our languages, our temples, our laws, and our stories. He is the god who refused to fade. He is the thunder that became the world. We followed the arc of Zeus from the hidden cave of his infancy to the roaring clash with Typhoeus, tracing the thunder line of a god who shaped the very idea of order. His strength was vast, his intellect sharp, his authority unquestioned. Yet the deeper we looked, the more we found a truth far more human. Zeus, for all his power, was never perfect. His rule depended on constant struggle, not just against monsters and titans, but against himself. He swallowed the one who knew too much. He deceived the one who trusted him most. He punished mortals for wounds he created. He held the sky, yes, but he never held complete mastery over his own impulses. And that is why his story resonates. Zeus is not only the ruler of storms, he is the storm inside us. The clash between wisdom and desire, the fragile balance between justice and anger, the eternal work of keeping chaos at bay. Ancient poets called him the source of abundance, the purifier, the king. But perhaps he was something closer, the first true mirror of leadership, reflecting the blessing and the burden of power. Zeus still shines above us, and we are still looking into his turbulent reflection.